Hey, welcome back. So in this module, we're going to talk about how to actually sell this stuff. And before we begin, yesterday I shared with you some numbers. And when we were talking about the concept of building assets, I got kind of lucky and I showed you that, yesterday I said, man, look at this. We have had just the best luck ever. Now, of course, I've lost it on my screen here. Oh, there we go. Okay. We have had the best luck ever yesterday with our ad spend. So if you recall, you can show the, oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. So you might remember this from yesterday, right? I was like, dude, what you want is an asset where you put $1 in and you get more than $1 out. And I don't know if you remember this from yesterday morning, but this is a screenshot I took of my ad spend yesterday at like 6:30 in the morning or something like that. And I'm like, dude, look at this. We collected $684, and I showed you how where those two little arrows are pointing. The reason that 684 and not 393 is because ClickFunnels isn't counting those other two upsells for whatever reason towards the daily total. So it's 684 collected. And I showed you that we spent 173.12, and I was like, look, man, that's a fluke, right? That was like one of those rare moments when everything just lines up perfectly, and it happens to be awesome looking right before I go on camera. So that was, oh, there we go. I guess I should hit play on here. There we go. So that was a $511.28 profit, which is almost a 300% return on ad spend. So it's like you put $1 in, you get $3 out. And my point was, this is what we want to do. And I said, but look, it's not like that all the time. I don't always put $1 in and get $3 out at 6:30 in the morning on the same day. It varies, right? So I just want to show you kind of what's a little bit more common. Okay, so I went in about like 40 minutes ago and took screenshots of the sales, and this is from yesterday's sales for that same campaign. So you'll notice at the top there, this is a screenshot from ClickFunnels. It says 529 gross, and then my little collection or my little addition says $820 collected. That's because if you look right over there at those last two numbers in the green count column, the closed payment plan and video black box, those are $97 sales. Actually, those are on payment plans, so there are multiple payments in 97. ClickFunnels just doesn't count those first payments at all towards the total for whatever reason. So that's why it's $820 collected. That's for yesterday, and our total spend yesterday was $752.22. So this is a brand new campaign. It's a test campaign, and we still got money back on the same day. It just wasn't a 300% return. We got about a 9% return. And you know what? I'll take it, because if you invest in stocks and you stick $1 in, you usually wait an entire year, and maybe you'll get $1.06 back. Well, we got $1.09 back within less than 24 hours. Now, what's really cool is something that I don't ever count. I consider to be a bonus. You see where it says $388 in payments coming in? That's because those last two upsells, the closed payment plan, that one is 3 payments of $97. So I only got my 1 payment of $97 yesterday. I still have 2 more. And then you see this video black box? That's 2 payments of $97. So I have a total of 4 more payments of $97 coming in, which is great. So that's actually another 51% return of pure net, which is awesome, right? So that'll come to me as well. So really I'm putting $1 in, and I'm getting about $1.60 back in total, but I'm just getting $1.09 back in that same day. So that's long-term thinking. Now again, we ended up getting super lucky. Where's the numbers for you? Did I take the shot for you today? Oh man, I didn't. Oh, I just wanted to show it to you on my computer. Check this out, okay? So this is like real time right now. So here's my ads manager. So, okay, I'll refresh my screen, Facebook. Why do you want to give me problems, Mark Zuckerberg? Actually, I love Mark Zuckerberg because Facebook makes me a lot of money. So this is the campaign we're tracking, right? This is the new one. So if we add this together, it's 108 plus 184, 284 plus, let's just round it up to $300. Okay, so that's easier. It's a little less than $300, but we'll round it up. And here are the sales figures. I'll hit refresh to see if we get lucky here. Apparently, every time you hit refresh, you get money. Ah, it didn't work this time. Okay, so we got 436, but look, there's another one of those sales that doesn't count towards this total figure, so it's really 533. So I got 533 in. I've spent, what was it, 300? So I'm already up $233 in net profit. And I am doing math in my head on camera, which is, of course, one of the dumbest things you could possibly do. So just wanted to kind of give you that as an update, really take you behind the scenes and see how this stuff works. It goes up and down day to day, your return on investment on your ad spend, but over time, on average, typically, we average about 20 to 30 cents, or 20 to 30% profit every day. When we spend $1 that day, we're going to get $1.30, $1.20 back that same day. And then as time progresses with payment plans and our main thing sales and all that and our Slack adjuster, like I showed you, the ROI just increases. So I know a lot of people don't really show you the inner workings. I figured I would because it's cool and it's fun, right? Okay, so now with that said, let us officially get cracking. So that's the wrong framework. I tell you what, I'm so used to having a giant monitor that this kind of is hard to do it on the small monitor. Okay, here it is. Now we go. All right, so let's get out of there. Now, here's what I want to show you. I want to show you how to use assembly line copy, okay? So the concept of writing copy is really horrible to a lot of people. It's not fun. You know, I know it's like we're supposed to make, it's easy, you just sit down and write a letter, but it's kind of notoriously horrible. People say, hey, Frank, you write pretty good copy. What's your process for writing copy? My process for writing copy is I'll pace around in circles and complain about it for about 90% of the time, and then that last remaining 10%, I'll actually sit down and write the copy. And so that was my copywriting process for years until I created this, which is the assembly line copy model. So my book letter, the way I sell my book is a long form sales letter just to get a book for $5.60, downloadable book. The way I sell that is I actually wrote an honest to God sales letter. Now, people say, oh man, you did all of that just to sell a book? I'm like, yeah, you know why? Because 1 out of every 10 cold, total strangers who sees that letter ends up buying the book. And of course, they, as you just saw, a book buyer is worth typically around $40 to $50 right there in the same day. So of course I'm going to go through that work, So let me show you how to do it, right? Because it's actually pretty simple. So, by the way, if you want these notes, like these little fill in the blank thingies that I've got here on the screen, text the word notes to 858-239-1008. You'll get an automated reply that says, hey, are you sure we can text you these notes? You have to write back with yes, it's cool. And then kablam, we got you. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you don't actually have to draw this out on a piece of paper or anything, but we've really got multiple sections of a sales letter within the assembly line, right? And our first part is going to be a headline. And we really have a lot of options. We could use my favorite headline formula ever is how to yay without boo. And that really means how to do something cool without having to do something that sucks. As a matter of fact, if you look at the book, so this is our main book right here in our book funnel. You can come back to me, OSD. Come on back there, buddy. There we go. It's how to yay, how to get consulting clients fast, yay, without boo, even if no one's ever heard of you, right? How to write good sales letters without pulling your hair out, wondering what the hell to say. That would be another example, okay? So that's one formula. Another formula would just be a statement of the offer. Another formula would be a question of the pain. Another formula would be something called dog whistle. You know what? How about I show you some examples? So here's my sales letter for the book. And here's a classic how to sell high-ticket consulting services. That's how to yay without boo, even if no one's ever heard of you, right? The headline and the title is pretty much the same thing, which is pretty cool. Here's an example of straight statement of offer. This is for this book right here. You can come back to me, right? Now, this book is no longer on the market, but this was the headline for the sales letter that sold this book right here. And the headline for the sales letter said, free book reveals how to create internet campaigns that sell. Now, when I said free book, it was a free plus shipping offer. I don't really do that anymore. So if I were to redo the sales letter, I would change it. I'd say new book. Wow, change an entire word there. New book reveals how to create internet campaigns that sell. That's a classic statement of main benefit right there, right? It's like, boom, here it is. Okay, the next one is the question about pain, right? So that is here, are you tired of doctors who can't find out what's wrong with you? Right? Great headline. It's just calling right out to the person with a problem. So really, really simple. So this is a great headline formula. So if we were doing it in the marketing space, we would try something like, are you tired of Facebook strategies that seem to work for 4 days and then die? Or something like that, right? Or are you tired of internet gurus who can't seem to actually help you succeed online? Whatever, right? You got it. So that's another formula for a headline. Here's an example of what we call dog whistle. Right? If you have trouble sleeping, please read this. What that means, the term dog whistle, I learned from Dan Kennedy, who's a great teacher and a pretty solid dude as well. What that means, the term dog whistle, is it's sort of a reference to those supersonic or subsonic or whatever whistles that only dogs can hear. So if we blow one of those in a crowded room, me and you're going to be like, why is that dude blowing into that weird tube thing? But if a dog was in there, he would hear it. It's just for him. Well, this copy is just for the person who has trouble sleeping. right? And I love this, right? So if you have trouble making sales online, please read this. If you have trouble maintaining a good relationship, please read this. If your child is really smart but still failing in school, please read this. If you have trouble stopping overeating, please read this. You see, it's classic, very, very simple, calls out right to your ideal person, okay? So those are your headline formulas. So the first step of writing the letter, okay, is just going to be to come up with a headline. And so these are really some of the best formulas that I've ever uncovered, right? And that I like to use personally. So people say, Frank, you write pretty good copy. I'm like, well, thank you. It's kind of because I cheat and I use this framework I'm giving you right now. All right. So our next phase is going to be the open, right? And this is what I mean by open is this is us beginning the letter. And I really almost always default to this statement. If you want really cool results, then this is for you. Here's why. Excuse me, right? So let me give you an example of it. For the Convert book, which is the one I just showed you, which is no longer on the market, I need to resell it because it only worked great. I don't know if you guys ever do that, but something will work and you just get bored and do something else. Not very smart, you know? So anyway, here it is for Convert book. The open is, if you'd like to create internet campaigns that sell like crazy, regardless of your industry, this is the most important book you'll ever read. Okay? Boom. That is the if you want to yay, then this, right? Here it is for the consulting book, right? Dear friend, if you'd like to sell lots of consulting, coaching, or professional services, this will be the most important book you'll ever read. Well, what do you know? It's pretty much exactly the same. Yeah, I'm literally copying myself. Oh, we blew up the monitor again. There it goes. Look at that. Magic. Made that happen with my mind. That's what I did. Okay, so you know where I got this from? I got this from Gary Halbert, the late, great, legendary Gary Halbert. Here's one of his opens. If you'd like to lose weight for real and do it extremely fast, up to 10 pounds of fat and fluid in 2 days, then up to 1 pound a day until you reach your goal, this is going to be the most exciting message you'll ever read. I mean, who could resist that, right? And assuming that you want to lose 10 pounds of fat and fluid in 2 days. How does that even happen? What is that, liposuction? I guess that's a letter for lipo. You know, here's another one. Okay, hang on. If you are already a professional model, or if you'd like to be, this is going to be the most exciting message you will ever read. I mean, obviously, that appealed to me instantly. I'm a professional model. Not really. Okay. So that's how we begin the letter, right? So if you're following along and you're like, screw it, I'm just going to try these formulas. At this point, you've started yourself a sales letter, right? You're no longer pacing around wondering what to say, going, oh, this is horrible. You don't feel like you're writing a term paper. You're filling in these little boxes. And again, if you want this thing, if you want this box with all of these little pieces in it, you can have it. Just text notes to 858-239-1008. The automated thingy will make the notes appear for you through magic automation. It's pretty sweet. Okay? So the next thing we want to do, and this is where a lot of people sort of drop the ball, is we want to immediately start joining into the conversation in the reader's mind, right? And I believe it was Robert Collier who kind of popularized that concept when his ideas of writing really good ads were, hey, you have to enter the conversation in the other person's mind. So if we think about it, excuse me, if we think about it, someone's reading the letter for, let's say, this book, right? And it says, how to get consulting. The headline is, new book shows how to get consulting clients fast, even if nobody's ever heard you. You're like, huh. And then the opening says, if you want to get consulting clients fast, even if no one's ever heard you, this is the most important book you'll ever read. What's going to go through that person's mind? Immediate skepticism, right? Of course I mean, why wouldn't it? Right? That's a pretty bold claim. This is the most important book you've ever read. If you want to get consulting clients fast, I don't know, sounds like shenanigans. So we have two choices. We could be like 99.99% of all the marketers in the world and just try to make our promises bigger and louder so we can overcome that skepticism, or we could be rational, normal human beings and be cool to people and address them. Which one do you think works better, right? Of course, giving the damaging admission. So here's what I like to do. This is, I can't remember which of my books this is for, but notice I say, but first a warning. Before we go further, let me make something abundantly clear. This isn't one of those get-rich-quick websites that promises you a fortune for doing nothing. Here's the deal. The system I outline in this book is working great for me, and I believe it can help you too, but I'm not suggesting that everyone or anyone who reads it is going to make a lot of money. I don't know how much the people who read it will make. It's likely that many or most of them will make little or nothing at all, especially if they don't follow the directions and work hard. Now, come back to me. if you're a person who has read all kinds of BS, hypey, scammy crap, and you've bought all kinds of stuff with these huge pie in the sky promises, and you're very jaded, and you see that message right off the bat, what do you think the chances are of you feeling a little more receptive to the rest of the message now? Thinking, finally, someone's actually shooting me straight here. Okay, I understand that there is no magic freaking pill, all right? But maybe I'll continue reading what this guy has to say with a more open mind. That's all we're trying to do right here, right? Is just be like, look, I know that, obviously, whatever, overcome the skepticism, but still you should check this out because it might be helpful to you. Here's how I do it in the Convert book, right? I say, by the way, yes, this book really is free, but before I tell you about it, let me make something perfectly clear. This isn't one of those get-rich-quick websites that promise you a fortune for doing nothing. Look, it is literally the exact same copy for both books, just about. What you're getting is working great for me, and it's the exact system I've used to create internet ad campaigns that sold over $50 million worth of products and services online over the past few years alone, but there's a catch. Here it is. And blah, 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 right? So same concept. And notice what we've got here. We have really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentences. That's that entire section. Okay, so we want to do that to establish more credibility and gain more trust. And once we've done that, right, now it's time to start making the introduction to the offer. Okay, so that's where we are in our next little segment here. So here's how I do it in my sales letter for the book. Okay, so I say, with that said, now this is that, see that first sentence there at the top? That's kind of the end of that damaging admission part. I say, with that said, let me jump right in and show you exactly what you're getting. First of all, okay, this isn't like any business book you've ever read. There's no fluff or filler, just battle-tested tactics that are working right now, and it's easy to read. It's 68 pages. You can read it in an afternoon, and you'll immediately get the entire system I personally use to get 36 consulting clients, paying an average of $48.60 per month in just 90 days part-time. Okay, boom, right there, introduction to the offer. Now notice it's about, this is what you are getting. And from a language pattern perspective, I'm sort of future pacing the reader going, you're getting this. Not, this is exactly what you will get if you buy this. It is, here's exactly what you're getting. I could maybe even make that a little more effective by saying, here's what you're getting today, all right? Or here's what you're getting right now. Notice I did the exact same thing with the Convert book. So with that understood, let me tell you exactly what you're getting. This is dramatically different from anything you've ever read because it's more of a field guide to advertising for massive profits than a traditional book. The reason why is because there's no fluff or filler. It immediately gets down to brass tacks, showing you exactly what to do, how to do it, and why. Plus, it's easy. Just 75 pages. You can read it in an afternoon, and you'll immediately get the entire methodology I personally used to create some of the most successful internet advertising promotions in history. So what we did right there, now if we look at those, 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences for the Convert book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences. 4 sentences for the consulting book, 5 sentences for the Convert book. Easy, right? So if you're doing this, right? So if you've got this little, where is it? Yeah, boom. If you've got this little cheat sheet, which again, you can have, right? Just text notes to the number on the screen. There we go, 858-239-1888. If you just fill this in, just kind of jot it in by hand while we're going along with this, what's going to happen is you can just take the result of this and you can go, hot damn, I got myself the outline for a sales letter, and you can knock your sales letter out today, okay? And that's what we want to do because guess what? Yesterday we showed you how to knock out the book, right? Right now I'm showing you how to knock out the sales letter. What's going to happen when you knock out that sales letter today? You get your transcripts edited for your book. Well, you can start selling your book like tomorrow, right? So pretty sweet. Like, action makes money, not sitting around, not contemplation. Let's get it done, baby. Because you can do this, there's nothing to it, right? You can see you're following along with this thing. It's not like it's rocket science, it's assembly line. Okay, so next thing we want to do is we want to expand the value of what we're talking about, right? We really want to start elaborating on how good the thing is that we are selling. So the way I do it with my consulting book, I say this is about more than just consulting. See, you can use the same system in this book to sell all kinds of high-end products and services. For example, I currently use the same system to get professional services clients for my marketing agency every month for an average of $12,000 per client. We architect and install high-level automation solutions for advisors. I also use the same strategies in the book to sell high-end masterminds. I created a group of 12 members in 60 days, and the price is $35,000 per member. An insurance company recently used the same strategies in the book to recruit financial advisors for their firm. A client in the mortgage industry is using the same strategies to recruit recruit loan officers for a lending institution, and then using the same strategies to turn those loan officers into coaching clients that pay him $1,800 per month for his business. So like I said, there's more to this little book than quote unquote just consulting. Okay, so that's that first block of it, which is that, right? So I'm just sort of expanding the value, right? So remember yesterday when I was telling you about the myths of what a book funnel is, and I told you I had the drawing of the dude in the palm trees, right? And it was like, no free lunch, right? There's no free lunch. Just because we're selling a $5 downloadable book or $7 or whatever you want to sell it for, doesn't mean we can just go on a webpage and go, get my book, right? We have to follow this framework, right? You really have to try to sell the book. Selling a $5 book takes just the same amount of effort as selling like a $100 book or a $5,000 thing. It's the same process. You always have to do the very, very best you can, right? And if you really believe in what your book is helping people do, then you kind of owe it to them to do the very best you can to get it in their hands, right? I mean, I know a lot of people have really good success because they got this and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't have to cold call. That's crazy. I can just build the system and have people come to me. Thank you so much. Makes me feel really, really good. Okay, so now we're about to get into the nuclear power plant of this process, and that is the bullets, right? So I'm going to give you a lot of bullet formulas. Each formula is going to be listed, I think. Yeah, each formula is going to be listed on this little cheat sheet. If you want this cheat sheet again, or you can, of course, just take notes while you're watching it, but if you want the cheat sheet, just text notes to 858-239-1008. We might even have it in the comments if you're on the Facebooks, and I'm sure we have it in the comments if you're on my website right now watching as well, but we'll send it to you via automation. So here's the deal. You can come back to me. Here's the deal about bullets, all right? One bullet can make or break your sale. Really is more likely to make your sale. The more bullets you have that are well written, the more of an increase you are going to see in your chance to actually get the sale. I don't know if this has happened to you. I bet it has. A couple years ago, man, I can tell you where I was when this happened. So I used to, it's a long story, but I used to own a gym. Stop laughing. Of course, I didn't go to it. That's silly. And it didn't work out, so I converted the gym into an office. And I would have clients come, and I put like one of the entire walls of the gym was a whiteboard, or something like a 36-foot whiteboard. It was really cool. So we'd have groups of people come in there, and they'd be writing on the whiteboard. And I also used that space as an office. And I remember I'm watching a Dan Kennedy presentation, or rather I'm reading a Dan Kennedy sales letter, and it's for a $2,000 product. And I'm like, oh, well, that's a pretty good chunk of change, you know, but hey, if I get a good idea from it, why not, right? But I wasn't really sold on it. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. I love Dan Kennedy. I trust him. I think he's pretty good, but do I really want to get this thing? Am I really going to read it? One bullet got me. The bullet said, I will also give you, and I forgot what it was, X order form strategies to increase the conversion rate of your order form. All the stuff, that one thing got me, right? So you need to come up with every possible benefit that you can and put it in bullet form, because that's kind of how it works in our brains. Now, the good news is there's a cheat sheet way to do this, right? Because I'm going to give you bullet formulas right now, and if you just make 2 bullets per formula, you're done, baby. Okay, so let's do it. So the first formula is how to X even if Y. Okay, let's see how to do this thing. What I want to do. Okay, so I'll give you the frameworks. Oh, sorry, I'll give you the formulas, and then what I'll do is I will give you examples. All right. So the first one is how to X even if Y. How to make sales, or how to get consulting clients fast, even if no one's ever heard of you. Right. That's perfect. How to be a good salesman even if you're a painfully shy introvert. How to be successful with women even if you failed in the past, okay? Another one is you need X, right? Wrong, okay? You need social proof, 1 million followers and an army of affiliates to succeed on the internet, right? Wrong. Classic bullet point using that formula, right? X ways to Y, okay? Very simple. As a matter of fact, if you go to the grocery store, you like look at the magazine rack, these are gonna be some of the subheads on any magazine cover that has to do with just about anything. 5 ways to burn fat this summer. On just about any Men's Health magazine is going to say that, right? 6 ways to, keep your man's attention. That's going to be on the cover of just about any Cosmo type magazines. Okay, classic formula. You can use it as a bullet point. Where to find why. Where to find customers with money. Okay? Where to find beautiful women who like overweight middle-aged guys with hairy backs, right? Hey, that would sell pretty good. In my crowd, I tell you what. Okay, so where to find whatever. Okay, that's another great one. How to eliminate X. How to eliminate skepticism before the person ever even sees your ad, right? Classic thing. Now you're curious, right? And I'm just making these up on the fly. I'll show you some classic bullets to correspond with these formulas here in a minute, so we're all good on that regard. The next one is what you should never. A classic bullet was what you should never eat on an airplane. That was used by, I think, Agora Publishing to sell one of their newsletters. And I finally got to meet Brian Kurtz, and I was like, Brian, what is it that you should never eat on an airplane? And the answer was, dude, it's everything. You should never eat anything on an airplane. I'm like, come on, you got me, right? But what you should never do, what you should never say in the first line of your email if you want to make sales, right? What you should never do when trying to win a high-ticket client. What you should never do if you're starting a book funnel, right? What is that, by the way? It is sit down and try to write the damn book manually because it'll take forever. Instead, you should use a method I taught you in our last session together, right? So I think you get that. So here's another one, why counterintuitive works, right? So this is playing to their existing assumptions, okay? So if you, let's say, we're dealing, you can come back to me. Let's say we're selling to the typical internet marketing crowd like us, right? And we are conditioned to believe that having a lot of affiliates is really smart and makes you money. I might have a bullet point to really get them very curious by saying why banning affiliate marketing works, why firing all of your affiliates actually makes you more money, right? So that's going to cause the reader who has this presupposition that, no, you're supposed to have affiliates, that, wait a minute, what? And that's all you want to do. You just want to hook them a little bit so they're more interested because they want to get the thing to satiate that curiosity, right? Why eating ice cream every day helps you lose weight. I don't know if that's necessarily true, so please, I'm just giving you random examples, but that's another great example of why doing something counterintuitive actually works. Right? So to sell like Atkins diet or whatever, a really good hook on that was why eating high fat and massive amounts of red meat every single day helps you live longer. May or may not have actually helped you live longer. I don't really know. Here's another one. Say goodbye to frustration. Right? Say goodbye to rejection, because on page 37, you'll learn how to have clients chasing you. Right? Just totally pulled that out of the air, but that's what you want. If you know their key frustrations, you're gold. Right? Say goodbye to sassy attitudes, general disobedience, and messy rooms. Discover how to turn your child into a well-behaved robot, right? On page 76. I don't know how to do that. I don't know if that's actually possible, but I think you get what I mean, right? So if you can isolate a frustration and then immediately say, hey, say goodbye to this frustration, it's great, right? Say goodbye to high power bills, okay? If we're selling solar, perfect, right? Makes sense. Okay. So here's another one, the truth about X, right? Really, really, really good. Okay, the truth about long-form sales copy. And if we wanted to really be crazy, we could say, and why it doesn't work in some situations. Don't know what those situations would be, so I don't know if that's necessarily true. You should always be truthful. I'm just sort of pulling these out of the air. Okay, another one, what to do if. What to do if you're getting opt-ins, but no one's buying your stuff. What to do if you have the greatest product in the world, but you can't seem to sell it. Right? What to do if you have an incredible vault of valuable knowledge in your mind, but you don't know how to get it into the marketplace. Okay? What to do if you've tried everything, but you can't seem to get traffic from Facebook. Right? Perfect. So all of those. And you could use that same formula over and over and over again. So you're not limited to one bullet per formula, right? You don't want to do them in the same little row, but you might have two. You might have how to X even if Y, then what to do if, then what you should never, and then another how to do X even if Y, and then another what to do if, and then why counterintuitive works, right? So you just sort of shuffle these all together if you're using multiple formulas in the same sales letter or multiple bullets of the same formula in the same sales letter, right? Here's another one, when it's okay to. When it's okay to have dessert every single day, right? I guess when you're a triathlete, I guess that might be it, right? When you're a triathlete and you burn 7,000 calories a day training, it's totally okay to eat ice cream every meal, right? So, but it's great. So if you find the thing that they secretly want to do, and in your bullet point, you say when it's okay to, right? So if I was selling this book, a great bullet, which I should probably use, would be when it's okay to refuse to try to make a sale, right? And of course, the answer to that is if it's not a perfect client, okay? So let me give you some examples, all right? So SAS, put this on their screen. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm gonna read you some of my bullets, This is from my consulting book, right? So 5 ways to get prospects eager to buy, right? That's the X ways to Y formula right there. So what I like to do is instead of just going X ways to Y, I like to make it even more elaborate. So in this one I say 5 ways to get prospects eager to buy before they even see your pitch. Believe it or not, one way is by refusing to sell to them. And by the way, that's kind of an embed of the not the controversial, but the counterintuitive formula right there. See how it works in the other 4 ways as well on page 53. Here's another one, how to get clients in the next 14 days, even if you're a complete unknown. It's the same thing as the very first format, right? The very first formula, how to X even if Y, okay? So these are all really, really classic formulas. It's not me coming up with anything amazing, right? It's simply I'm using these formulas I just gave you, and I'm just kind of using them over and over again as my bullet points. In this other example, these are more bullets, by the way. For my consulting book, I go on and I have even more of them. So if we look, by the way, this is a 68-page book, by the way. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 bullets so far. Remember the what to do if formula? What to do if you're brand new and nobody's ever heard of you. Classic, right? The truth about X formula, here it is. The truth about opt-in pages, okay? When it's okay to, right? Look, most people are tech dummies, myself included. When is it okay to be a tech dummy? When you have a really simple system, right? That's when it's okay. I built my entire business using these 7 simple tools, including a legal pad, a pencil, and a calculator. See the other 4 low-tech tools on page 9. Right? Remember the say goodbye to formula? Here it is. Say goodbye to having a small list, right? So here's why doing this thing, why doing the counterintuitive, why ditching your order form and sales materials can actually skyrocket your sales. That's the counterintuitive thing. You think you have to have all that stuff, maybe you don't, right? Why you should never X, remember that one? Here it is. Why you should never tell a prospect how you can help them. Never! Shocking test results on page 35. Okay, so there we go. And again, here we are with even more, right? So this is crazy. So I guess what I'm trying to show you is 2 things, right? And you can come back to me. Number 1, you got to have bullets, baby. You got to have them. The reason my stuff converts so well is because I have bullets. That is the secret weapon. Well, that and following this framework I'm giving you, right? But a huge part of this framework is your bullets. Bullet points are almost like little, like imagine your prospect is kind of hungry and a bullet is a different smell of a different dish. And you never know if this guy's gonna smell fried chicken and be hungry, or maybe he's vegan and he's gonna smell whatever vegan people, I don't know, can he smell vegan stuff? I don't know, right? Or maybe he's gonna smell garlic and that's gonna make him hungry. Every single bullet is like a little thing, like a little teaser, pulling this prospect's mind closer and closer to like wanting to have your stuff. Right? So the more bullets you have, assuming they're well written, and by the way, you can't screw them up if you follow the formula I just gave you, right? There's a lot of them. The more bullets you have, the better you'll do. So you look at my letter for my consulting book and you're like, dang, that's a long letter. It is, but it's mostly bullets, right? These are just, a bullet is like a sentence. It's not a hard thing to do if you know these formulas, which now you know, especially if you got the notes, which I've told you how to get them a zillion times, so I'm not going to bother you with that. So there are, oh no. What'd I do? I done blowed it up, y'all. Hang on. Let's see. Let me open this sucker back up. I think I somehow, there we go. Ha, magic. Okay, so here's some more formulas, right? Because really of everything we got, the offer obviously has to be good, right? So I couldn't like use great bullets and try to sell this book for $9,000 and it comes with a home castration kit or something, right? Like no one's gonna want that, right? So your offer has to be good and solid. But aside from that critical piece, these bullets could very well be the most important element of your letter, all right? Because all this other stuff I'm showing you is very, very formulaic. The bullets are going to do the meat of your heavy lifting for you in this particular circumstance, okay? So another classic formula for bullets is to use a big question as a bullet, okay? So where'd we go? Come back to me there. There we go. And these are from old ads that worked beautifully. This is from, I believe it was a Eugene Schwartz ad, but I'm not sure. Have you been boiling eggs in the wrong pot? And can it really matter? See page 10, right? Have you been trying to sell to the wrong types of clients? And is that why you're losing money? See page 7, right? Have you been advertising to the wrong audiences on Facebook? See how to find out on page 12, right? Classic, really simple. Entering that conversation in their mind, right? So if the person's wondering about this problem and you're able to ask a big question as a bullet point, what are you doing? You're entering that conversation in their mind. You're triggering that. Yeah, I have been wondering about that, right? So have you been doing your sit-ups wrong? If your lower back hurts, see page 7 to find out, right? If you're into that kind of thing, then that would be appealing to you. Here's another one. This is a series of big questions as bullets, all in one fell swoop here. A humane way to kill a lobster? See page 138. How to bread your meat or fish without the crumbs sticking to your fingers? See page 125. How to keep lasagna noodles from sticking together? See page 159. Actually, that's pretty good. I mean, I would like to know how to do that. That's a pain in the butt. Have you been serving your roast beef too soon after it comes out of the oven? Read page 59 carefully. Gotta love that, right? Here's some more. This is from a different writer. Okay. Can an extramarital affair ever help keep a marriage going? What's the effect of marijuana on sexual pleasure? Well, everyone knows that kills you instantly. What is a maxi orgasm? Obviously, I'm kidding. Is there really such thing as a nymphomaniac? What's the effect of powerful sexual excitement on the heart, right? And since we're broadcasting to Facebook, I think I'll switch to a different subject matter of bullet points as to avoid, violating any of their terms or something. So here's another set on a totally different set of subject matter, right? So has your Social Security become so valuable that you should, as some people have done, tattoo your account number somewhere on your body? Notice these are all big questions. What forms of deception have people employed in order to maximize their Social Security benefits and collect pensions early? What are the penalties for such deception? How can a husband collect a pension based on his wife's earnings? Right? Unbelievable, okay? I mean, if I were using this, one of the ones to sell my stuff would be, what's the best way to make money from people who tell you no, right? And then another one would be, can you really earn 400% more revenue from people who initially told you no than the first people who told you yes, right? Because that's what I believe you can do. So notice this, all of these bullets are just big what if questions or how can you? Right? Huge though. You never really see this in today's internet marketing world because so few people actually take the time to learn these formulas. But you have the formulas now. You've got these examples I'm giving you right now. There's no reason in the world not to because you know what? It's kind of fun. Right? It's easy to make these things. You just follow the freaking formulas, right? The bullets is a good time. Okay? So here's another one. These are called dog whistle bullets. These are bullet points that call right out to the reader, right? Right out to your perfect prospect. So for Scrabble players, a 3-letter word for totem pole, beginning with an X. Page 271, a 3-letter word containing an X and a Z. Page 375, well, what the hell is that, right? What could that actually be? Who knows? I guess it'd have to have a vowel in the middle, I suppose. Okay, so for Scrabble players. So if I had this for personal development coaches, right? Yada, 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 see page 375. Okay, here's another one. For feminists, 2 additional ways to say male chauvinist, both on page 9. Really, really cool. For gourmets, what does beluga mean? Want to bet? You gotta love that. That's really using the dog whistle combined with ask a big question, combined with now the counterintuitive, right? Because they're assuming that you're answering that question in your head and now playing to that counterintuitive curiosity by saying, want to bet? Beautiful, right? So every single person watching this right now, you should model that one bullet definitely, no matter what you're doing. Perfect, right? This could even make for a good Facebook ad headline. You could have like a picture of, a puzzled-looking gourmet, like with a picture of like a can of caviar or whatever, and your headline could say, for gourmets, what does beluga mean? Want to bet? And then they could read the rest of the post, which could drive them to a web page that sold your stuff. Okay? For crossword fans, a 4-letter word that is removed from a piece of paper when you punch a hole in it. For the counterculture, a 7-letter word meaning a fine blend of marijuana from India. Page 9. Well, let's see. I-N-D-I-C. Indica. I-N-D-I-C. Dang, I can't do it on camera. Indica. I think it's indica. I've never had any of it. That's why I can't count to 7 on camera. Okay, so this is another great one, right? This formula right here. Boom. If you problem, concern, or issue. So if you have big problem, this, right? Perfect bullet formula. You're going to love this one, okay? So If you stopped, so this is for golfers, if you stopped improving, once you reach the point of being fairly good, see page 150, right? Beautiful, beautiful. Another one, if we're selling to, the internet marketing crowd. If you stopped increasing your sales once you hit $1,000 a week, see page 57, right? Same thing. Here's another one. If you feel guilty, that's the problem, concern, or issue. If you feel guilty about forgetting to keep your head down, forget it, right? And now this one segues into that counterintuitive. That's not the reason why you've been topping your shots. See page 123, right? So if you compare these to 90% of the bullet points you ever read, if in fact you ever even see bullet points written by your competition right now, these are significantly more interesting and significantly more curiosity invoking. And what do we want to do? We want to make people very curious about what the heck is in this thing, right? I got to read this. Seriously, what in the world? What is another word for beluga? What does beluga actually mean, right? Maybe it means book buyer. You never know, right? Okay, here's another one. This is great. If you, notice it's the same thing, if the first thing you do before swinging is position your feet, you've got the order wrong. Beautiful. If your shots feel solid when you hit them, but the ball flies in the wrong direction anyway, see page 19. Well, see, when I play golf, I don't have any of those problems because I miss the ball entirely. So, see, I'm perfect. I don't even bother hitting it. I just swing, miss the ball. I'm like, I'm counting that. It's going all the way. It circumnavigated the globe and has now landed perfectly right back on the tee. Thank you very much. Tiger Woods, y'all. All right, so here we go. Here's another great one, right? If your biscuits aren't as flaky as you'd like, see page 231. If the meringue on your baked Alaska isn't stiff enough, see page 267. If your eggs Benedict aren't what they should be, read page 145. The fast, easy way to make good Napoleons starts with 4 pieces of cardboard. They don't show up in the final dish. See page 257, right? Beautiful. If you're, right? If your problem, then curiosity. Perfect formula. Right? Beautiful formula. Nobody uses it. If we use it, chances are we sell more stuff. So now look what we've got, okay? So if you've been following along and you've been sort of writing things out on your sheet as I've been giving you this stuff, look, you can come to me for a minute. I'll show this thing. You would have written the headline just based on one of the formulas. Don't overthink it. Just knock it out. You can change it later. You would have started your sales letter. Hey, if you want to play excellent golf, even if you have chronic back pain and one leg is shorter than the other and you're blind in one eye, this is going to be the most important letter you've ever read. Here's why, right? And now disqualify. But first, a warning. At first, you got to understand this isn't one of those I can turn anybody into an excellent golfer books. Hey, if you hate golf, if you're easily riled up, if you're not dedicated to improving your game, then this book really can't help you. But if you're a committed golfer who really wants to get results, then this is definitely going to change your life. Simply addressing that skepticism, right? And then here. But this book is more than just about driving the ball 100 yards. For example, you'll also learn how to sink putts from 15 feet away. You'll also learn how to, I'm running out of golf terminology. You'll also learn how to get out of sand traps in one easy swing, etc., right? And then we expand, okay? And then we've got the bullets. So if you've been following along with me during this time, you should have been, whether you're doing it in the handout or if you're just writing it down on a scratch sheet of paper, you've got section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4, section 5, and you've got a bunch of bullets, right? Now, you might not have a ton of them. Ideally, you would write 2 or 3 for every formula, right? So if we wrote 2 for every formula, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You would have 24 bullets. Go look at your competition right now. Do they have 24 bullets? If they do, are they good? Are they interesting? These formulas will make yours interesting, right? I'm telling you, this will make or break your letter right here. This is the secret, okay? Try it, you'll see. All right, and so now it's time to start actually trying to sell something. Because what we've been doing right now is we've been building that curiosity, building that desire, but hey, we still have to ask for the offer, right? So, that counted as a workout right there, thank you very much. Okay, so what we're gonna do is finally cooling off in here, by the way, which is awesome. Hang on, I need to get a little bit of water for us. There we go. Thanks for bearing with me on that one, y'all. Hope you're enjoying this, by the way. If you like it and you're watching on the Facebooks, proper word to say it is the Facebooks. Hit the heart button for me. Hit the like button for me. Share this with your friends. Let's help people out. You got buddies that are in business. They need to know how to do this. Hey, one sales letter could change your life. Could totally change everything for you. You have one sales letter that works. I wrote the thing for this book in 2012 or something? Same freaking letter. It's just been going and going and going and going. One letter can change everything. Right? So if you have someone you care about, someone's in business, a friend of yours, you want them to know how to do this stuff, hit the like button, hit the share button on Facebook. If you're watching this on my site, forward the address to one of your buddies. Let's help them out. Let's do some good work today, right? That's what it's all about. Always comes back to you tenfold, every single time without fail. That's what I believe anyway. Okay, so now what we want to do is we've really sort of gotten them curious. We've told them what this stuff is about. We've addressed a little bit of the skepticism. Now it's time to start selling, okay? So what we're going to do is we transition into what I call the stack. So before I go into what the stack is, let me tell you how to transition it. Basically, we say, yep, that's a lot of X, but it gets better because you're also getting, and now we're going to want to start stacking the value and beginning the offer. Okay? So from my book, I say, you're right. That's a lot of battle-tested strategies and tactics, and it's stuff no one else can share with you because no one else is doing it, but it gets better because you're also getting. So now we're just wanting to transition into more demonstration of value. So this is where we start beginning the offer. And the first step here is to announce a bonus, right? So if we're selling anything, we almost always want to have a bonus, okay? And the bonus should be as valuable or more valuable than the thing you're selling is, right? That's how to make an offer irresistible. Okay, so we want to announce the bonus right here. And by the way, this is a separate sheet. And again, if you want these things, and they're already pre-filled out with the answers in them and stuff, just there you go. Text notes to that thing, and we'll take care of you. Tout suite is how you say it in French, I think. Okay, so here's how we do it. Okay, and you're going to want to go full screen. There you go. Thank you. This is a little hard to read here for even me. So it says, but it gets better because you're also getting, and in this case, this is for my consulting book. It says, you're also getting an advanced stealth persuasion system for high-end sales. At the end of this book, you're getting a complete blueprint of the most powerful sales methodology ever deployed in any industry. You'll learn how to close super high-end sales with no pressure, convincing, or traditional selling. This simple but effective method has been giving me great sales conversion for almost 2 years running, but nobody else does it, right? So let me show something to you that's kind of cool. Let's look at what I just said after that headline or subhead. At the end of this book, you're getting, I'm not saying you're getting a second book. I'm not saying you're getting another thing. I'm just talking about this information is now positioned as even more cool stuff than what I was talking about in all of those bullets, right? So it doesn't necessarily even have to be a separate product, but I do like to kind of take it that far, which I'll continue to show you as we go along in this. But that is one way to build value with a transition to a stack like that. Hey, you're also getting yada, 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 see page 7. So even if you have a big list of bullets, you can double your list of bullets by going, but that's not all. You also get then bullet, 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 all for the same product. In this case, it's sort of a subtle way to do it, right? Now, here's how I did it. So the second little thing that you see, this part, we'll pull it up on your screen in a minute, is bullets for this. Oh, no, it's not. No, this is actually still for the same, this is wrong book. This is still for the same consulting book, right? So let me show you this, how we're now stacking this value. So the best part of this is that it's specifically designed for people who hate selling. Listen, if you don't like sales, you're not alone. I can't stand it either. I'd literally rather do hard manual labor than be a typical salesman. And that's why I spent years developing the system I'll be giving you at the end of this book. When you use it, 2 things will happen. First, you'll be of genuine help to everyone you use it with. They'll come away from the experience viewing you as a trusted friend and advisor, regardless of whether or not they buy anything. This is really important to you because it sets you up for a long-term relationship with them, where they're significantly more likely to become a good customer that does business with you for years. The next thing you'll notice is this. You'll know how to make more sales, right? So what I'm really doing here is I am positioning, let's see here, yeah, there we go. Okay, so I am positioning these 3 pages, 59, I'm positioning the last 10 pages of this book, starting here. This is excellent information, by the way. This really, like everything I just said right here is dead on the nail. This is such a cool process. I'm positioning those last 10 pages as a separate bundle of its own value. You know why? Because it freaking is. It's awesome. So you can do it. You don't have to go and make a second book or whatever. One chapter of your book, if you got one piece of it that's so awesome that you think it merits this kind of copy, position it that way, just the same way that I did, all right? So What we want to do now, right, if we've added a bonus, we can put that in there. If we position like one extra chapter or one extra thing as something very valuable, you put that there. But what we want to do now is we want to start beginning the close. Okay, so a lot of people mess this up. And it's easy to mess up because we get freaked out about closing. I like to follow a pretty simple thing, which is to say, here's what I want you to do next. So literally from my letters, this is from both of them, right? So this is from the downloadable version of my book over here on the left. It says, here's what to do next. The cost of this book is $5.60, and you get it instantly as a download. As soon as you place your order, you'll get an automated receipt with a link to download the book directly in your email. You can access it anywhere immediately without having to wait for the mailman. Nice, okay? Here's the same copy, but back when I was doing free plus shipping. So this is the exact same sale, but this is when I was actually mailing them the book and positioned it as a free book. You just pay shipping. So I say, here's what to do next. Like I said, the book is free. All I ask is you cover the postage of $5.60. I'm using USPS, and their flat rate for a book this size is $5.60, shipped anywhere in the United States. If you're out of the country, I'll pick up my extra shipping charges personally. Your book will be shipped same day. As soon as you request it, we ship it to you unless it's in the middle of the night, and then we'll do it in the morning. We'll also email you with your shipping information, and if you're in the U.S., we'll send you a tracking number as well. You can expect to get it in about 5 days if you're in the U.S. International shipments take longer. Oh, and in case you're wondering, boom, okay? And so that begins the close, all right? So the next thing we do is we know that they're going to have concerns, right? So we have to address those in the next little phase here. Okay, so let me show you how we do that. So here are some of the things they could be concerned about. The price, right? In this case, why is it so cheap? All right, if you're selling something expensive, why is it so expensive? If they're going to have a concern around it, you need to address it, right? Self-doubt, which is, well, makes sense. It could work for Frank. He clearly has magic powers or something, but it couldn't work for me. That's one of the biggest things that are going to kill your sales no matter what you're selling. Is not that they don't believe you, but they don't believe in themselves. So that's one thing you might need to address. Another one is, will it work for me? So I don't believe, it's not that I don't believe in myself, but I'm not sure this will work for me because my situation is different, slightly different thing. Is this a trick, right? So if it's a free plus shipping offer for your book or something, they're going to be like, what's the catch here? Why are they doing this, right? Is this a trick? If it's so good, why is it so cheap, okay? Hang on, I'm going to have to get a little something to drink here. If there's another option they're considering, they might be wondering, is this better than my other option? So you might need to address that. Should I do this now or can I wait? Right? Those are all things that need to be addressed. So here's how I do it. Now, the biggest thing in the book funnel, if you're selling a book free plus shipping or it's inexpensive, they're going to be like, okay, what's the catch? What's going on here? This sounds pretty good, but why would you be giving me this for only $5.60? Do I declare shenanigans? I don't know. Right? So what you got to do is say something like this. In case you're wondering, there's no catch. And here I am literally jumping right in the conversation in their heads, right? I know there's some websites out there that offer you a great deal on something, but then they stick you in some program that charges your card every month. This isn't one of them. Hey, if you want to see people who model my copy and paste that phrase into Google and see how many sales letters are on it. I bet you'll find a ton, right? There's no hidden continuity program you have to try or anything even remotely like that. I'm literally giving you this entire book for free as a means of putting my best foot forward and demonstrating real value. My hope is that you'll love it, and this will be the start of a good business relationship for years. Here's another version of the same angle, right? I realize this is very inexpensive, so you might wonder what the catch is. And I know there are some websites out there, exact same copy, by the way, right? I know there's some websites out there that offer you a great deal on something, but then they stick you in some program. This isn't one of them, yada, yada, yada. I'm literally giving you this book for $5.60. Now, the one on the left, that's free plus shipping. I'm saying I'm literally giving it to you for free. The one on the right is where I'm selling it as a download, okay? Notice the very subtle difference in addressing that, hey, it's too good to be true skepticism. I'm literally giving you this entire book for $5.60 as a means of putting my best foot forward and demonstrating real value. My hope is that you'll love it, and this will be the start of a good business relationship for years to come. Now, we have just begun to overcome that skepticism, right? So I'll address it further in a minute. But what we really want to do right now is we want to get them to realize that they need to order right now. Okay, so the next phase here is you got to order right now. So you'll notice right down in the letter I say time is of the essence. right? In most cases, I take a loss when selling the book at this price. It cost me just over $21 in advertising expense to sell one book. So why would I do that? Now remember, a second ago, I was like, hey, we still have some more work to do in addressing that skepticism. I'm doing it right here, but I'm also introducing why they should order now. So I'm saying, hey, it cost me over $21 in advertising expense to sell one book. Why would I do that? Here we go. I say simple. I'm making this offer with the idea that you'll be very impressed with what I'm giving you today, and you'll want to do more business with me in the future. Don't worry, I don't have a sales team that's going to call you and bother you. It's actually the opposite. I'm betting that you'll enjoy the book so much, you'll call me. Anyway, with that said, this is a limited offer. Now, what I'm doing right here is I'm further addressing the skepticism, right? So I'm like overcoming that, hey, is it too good to be true type of thing, but I'm also giving a very legitimate reason for this offer to potentially go away, which is, dude, it cost me 21 bucks to sell this thing, right? So I could take it away at any time because that's a lot of freaking money to spend hoping that you're going to call me, right? Really simple. This is what I'm selling it as a download, right? Very simple, very true. Okay, so God forbid being blatantly upfront with people about stuff works. Who knew? Novel concept, okay? But a great way to overcome skepticism and doubt is to be straightforward and 100% honest with people. So here's another one, right? This is a different one. This is when I'm shipping it physically. And this is when I first released my book, by the way. I said, time is of the essence. Here's why. I've ordered 1,000 copies of this book as a test. They're packaged up and ready to be shipped immediately. In all likelihood, they'll sell out almost instantly. Why? Because my businesses have a combined 327,500 satisfied customers and subscribers who are getting this message at the same time you are. And the last time I released a new book, it sold 18,500 copies in a few short weeks. So it's simply a matter of supply and demand. Now, never say anything like that unless it's true, right? This was back when I released I can't remember, it was one of these two, and I did it in conjunction with a digital marketer, and it just exploded, right? I mean, we sold a gazillion copies of them. It was true. Don't be making up fake numbers if it's not true, right? If you don't have a giant list, to say, hey, this is an experiment. I've only printed up a couple copies of this to see how well it works, and when they're gone, I might not renew it. Doesn't matter. As long as it's straightforward, you're good, right? So we did two things there, okay? We gave them a reason to order now, which was the scarcity, all right, and we continued to address that skepticism. So now what we need to do is we need to introduce a second bonus. So our first thing, where I announced a bonus, I didn't even really position it as a bonus. I'm just saying you're also getting, and then I talked about the cool collaborative close method I teach in the last 10 pages of the book. Now we want to introduce a second thing of value. It could be a bonus, which is another piece of information. You could do the same thing and call it an additional chapter in the book, whatever you want to do. But we want to continue to add more value because we just made a pitch. We gave them the price, we gave them the reason why, and we want to continue to build that momentum towards yes, right? All right, hang on. Easy to lose my voice here, okay? So here we go. Here's how we do it. So I've just said, hey, you need to order now, right? It cost me 21 bucks to sell one of these things. I could quit at any minute because who's crazy enough to do that, right? And then this is from an older version. And actually, this is from the Convert book. I can tell by the font size. It says, oh, one more thing. You're also getting a brand new video training where I deconstruct a new approach that brought in $710,977 in gross sales in 9 days. This was a new approach I wasn't entirely sure of, but boy, did it ever work. Anyway, I'm creating a full-blown training around this approach, and I'm giving you this hour-long advanced preview version of it in hopes you'll give me your feedback. And by the way, I plan to sell this in the future for at least $1,000, so I want you to know this isn't some gimmick. It's a real advanced level, in-depth training where you're not only seeing every aspect of a winning marketing strategy, but you're also being shown how to implement it. Here's how I do it with the consulting book, right? You're also getting an advanced 90-minute training for free. During this training, I'll walk you through exactly what's working to get clients right now. You'll see the actual ads I'm running. You'll see the emails I'm using. I'll even tell you exactly what to say to get clients chasing after you. And there's no charge for it. I want you to have this as my gift for checking out the book. Come back to me there, Sass. Let me ask you a question. What do you think that 90-minute advanced training is? It's the webinar. What's that you say? The same webinar that you originally built to get your content out of your head so you could have it transcribed and turned into a book? Yeah, that one. Of course, I went and reshot the thing and made it good and more professional, but it's the same framework, it's the same content. I just added my pitch at the end to it and made it good. That's what I'm saying. If you follow what I've been sharing with you in this entire training, It's a very step-by-step thing. Everything locks together, right? So now I've shot the webinar, recorded it, got content out of my head using that framework I shared with you yesterday, out of my head, recorded, transcribed, edited, turned into a book. Then I thought of, what do I want my Slack adjuster to be? What do I want my main thing to be? And it was my advanced consulting course. So I went back to that same webinar, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to sort of put an offer on the end of this, and I'm going to make that offer to be for this advanced training course. And what do you know? I record that webinar, and now, because it's very, very content rich, it's very good, I position it as a bonus when they buy the book. And you know what? If anyone goes through that webinar, they will tell you, man, this is a freaking good webinar, right? It's not a high pressure, high close webinar. You know, it only converts like 1% to 2%. I don't care. I got paid to get a buyer already. So every dollar that comes from it's pure gravy anyway. Plus, it further enhances that bond I have with my readers, right? So it's very, very important. But I just wanted to share that with you because we can continue to build these assets, right? If you build an asset, like we talked about yesterday, it can continue to work for you for a long time, which is what we want to do, okay? So our next thing we want to do is, after you've introduced your second bonus, is you got to have a guarantee. I mean, you got to be thinking, what, dude, seriously? It's a book, it's $5.60. You're going to guarantee that book? Hell yeah, because we have to try just as hard to sell something for $5 as we do for 500. So we're going to make a guarantee. Here's mine. I say, and by the way, even though, this is if you're doing free plus shipping, even though you're only paying for shipping, you're still protected by the boldest guarantee in the world. I 100% guarantee you'll love this book and the new video training, or I will return your $5.60 postage fee and let you keep the book and the videos anyway. That's right, you don't even have to send anything back. Just email me or call the number on your receipt and I'll give you back your $5.60 with no questions asked. How's that for fair? And then here's another one, right? So this is for the downloadable version, I think. It says, we'll see here, right? It says, oh, in case you're wondering, yes, of course there's a money-back guarantee. And in fact, I think it's the boldest guarantee in the world. I 100% guarantee you'll love this book and the new video training, or I'll return your $5.60 and let you keep the book and video training anyway. That's right, you don't even have to send anything back. Just email me or call the number on your receipt and I'll give you back your $5.60 with no questions asked. Very simple guarantee, right? But you got to have one. Even if it's $5.60, you still have to have it. You're kind of required by law, I think, at least in California, to offer a refund anyway. So you might as well make a big deal out of it. Plus, it's the right thing to do. So our next final piece here is your call to action, right? Where you tell them to freaking buy it, okay? And here's what I do. This is truly a limited offer, so claim your copy now before they're all gone. Oh, did we lose the thing? Oh, there we go. This is me. I think we lost my computer again. Pew. Is the monitor dead? Oh, it's back. Yay, I did that with my mind. Okay, so I say on both of them, this is truly a limited offer. So claim your copy now before they're all gone, right? And I say, send me the book, all right? And then again, the exact same letter, but for a different book. How's that for fair? This is truly a limited offer. So claim your copy now before they're all gone. And I say, send me the book, right? Let's go. And there it is. So here's what has happened this morning. So that's how you do all of this stuff. Oh, you want to have a PS, right? So in your PS section, you want to restate, summarize, and repitch, okay? So notice the PS, and you know what? I bet if you were to Google this first sentence right here, you would see how many people model this framework. You'd find it on sales letters everywhere. P.S. In case you're one of those people, like me, who just skipped to the end of the letter, here's the deal. I'm offering a 68-page book that outlines how to get high-paying clients, even if no one has ever heard you. The book is $5.60. I'm also walking you through a stealth persuasion system that I created that's causing qualified prospects to ask me to help them, then turns them into high-paying clients for me. Don't worry, stealth doesn't mean sneaky or anything like that. It's 100% built on goodwill and being helpful. What's important about this is it doesn't use any pressure, convincing, or any of the typical stuff you might associate with sales. And in my experience, it simply works better. On top of that, I'm also giving you a 90-minute online training free, which shows you exactly how to implement what you learn in the book. This is a very limited offer because it's a marketing test. There's no catch to this offer. You will not be signing up for any trial to some monthly program or anything like that. In fact, if you don't like the book, let me know, and I'll even give you back the $5.60. You don't even need to send the book back. Click here and claim your copy now. You won't regret it. So what I did was I summarized, recapped, and repitched, right? So that is the framework for a long-form sales letter. This sales letter framework sells this at about 10% conversion, meaning 10 out of every 100 complete and total strangers that see that letter buy the book, and the average person who buys the book is worth, as of today, let's have a look here. Let's see what it says in the ClickFunnels. Well, today it says $87, but I think that's a little bit inflated. Let's look at it over the past like 3 days, right? Because I'm just having like insanely good luck this morning. So let's have a look over time, right? To give you a more accurate thing. Yeah, worth about $49. That makes sense. That's just from this one particular campaign over the past couple days here, right? And look at this. Remember I just told you it's 10%? So I don't know if I can zoom that thing in or not, but I think you can see it on the screen. It says unique visitors, 439. Look how many book sales, 46. That's slightly better than 10% conversion. So this framework is awesome. So look, like I told you, you are really, as Gary Halbert used to say, man, one sales letter can totally change everything for you. That's what this one sales letter framework has done for me with 2 separate books already, right? 2 of them. It's not a fluke. I use the same framework for both of these babies. They both sold like crazy. Any other book I write from now on, same framework. It's just plug and play. Okay, so if you want that little graph thingy or that little cheat sheet that I made for you, go ahead, text notes to 858-239-1008. We'll send it to you. You're also going to get a lot of notes that don't make sense because I ain't done teaching you copy. So it took me significantly longer to teach this segment than what I thought. So what I'm going to do for you is we're going to go on break now as scheduled. I'm going to come back. I'm going to show you the 5 main information products that you can sell. And then after that, I'm going to show you the video sales letter framework. So we're going to go a little bit longer today, assuming that it's cool with Sassy. You cool with that? No lower third needed. Yeah. All right. So this is obviously not part of the product. This is the behind the scenes stuff, right? So we went a little bit longer than planned, but I really wanted to be thorough for you because, man, I really believe this. One sales letter makes all the difference in the world, right? So here's our agenda for the rest of the day. I'm going to show you the 5 main products that you can sell in your book funnel, right? So the question is, hell, I know how to sell stuff. I know how to get them to buy the book, right? That sales letter thing makes perfect sense to me, but what about my one-click upsells? What about my Slack adjuster products? What am I going to sell there? How do I get those made? So I'm going to show you those. And then our third presentation for the day is I'm going to show you the $1 billion video sales letter framework. And yeah, that literally is billion with a B. When I emailed you about this, I was like, man, I had to teach this to a group who paid $100,000 and I was super nervous. That was true. The presentation number 3 today, that's what I'm going to be sharing with you. I meant to share it with you this morning, but I just took extra time to teach you this, all right? So we're going to take a quick break for about 10 minutes or so. You'll see some video propaganda. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're liking this, stick around. Hit like, hit share, forward this URL to your friends because you ain't seen nothing yet, man. We just started for today, baby. We gonna get them, right? Okay, so on we go with the video. I'll get a little power bar, take a quick break, and then we'll be right back.